Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We have Lee Jain here and Veganology JJ, and we are coming to you with this fun, open discussion. This is a show that Ryan has thought of, or Lee has thought of, and do you want to tell them a little more about your vision for this show?
Yes. Hang on one moment. One thing I should have told you before we started. In order for me to go live on Instagram, I have to hit live. So, that's not gonna work. But I'm streaming on Twitch at least. We'll figure out that later.
We're kind of just figuring this out, so we're trying to get all the technology right. So we really appreciate you being here, with us, and just kind of helping us through. You guys already selected the name. We had like a poll and people commenting, and then also our own input, and it was really cool on the last episode. If you missed it, check that one out. It's the one that says help us pick a name, or help pick a name for our new show. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll have some other guests come on, that, well, not really guests that we're interviewing, but like we also, I know, want it to be interactive. So in the comments, or we're going to have a link out to join. Dawn said she's going to try to jump on sometimes, which she always has insightful conversation with us, and a lot of the other people here that are, frequent listeners. We hope to hear from you, and then some new people too. So while Ryan is or Lee is doing that, I will just.
Yeah, I can talk as far as that goes. So
Okay, I didn't know if you were messing with that. I didn't want to.
Well, I am messing, so I can talk, but if I sound like I'm distracted, so because I got the Twitch going, and yeah, Instagram's really weird. You have to put the code in, and then even once we live stream, it has to connect, and they have to go to Instagram and hit live at the same time. Here, I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't work, I'm not gonna worry about it. But hey, I'm happy Twitch is going. So
that's awesome, and I can check Instagram.
Yeah, right now it's sending data. Like it's not. I never figured out to know. Like, do you have Twitch?
Not yet. No, I need to get one of those.
Okay. Twitch is the easiest one. Like literally, you don't have to put in like codes or anything. Okay, I'm just not gonna worry about Instagram today because it's not playing well. So,
I don't know if I could. Wonder what's happening with it.
I don't know. We don't have to worry about it though.
Well, I clicked on Instagram to see if you were on there, and ironically enough, there's some guy, like some video I clicked on. It sounded like a toilet flushing. I'm like, what are the odds? It sounded like I was at the someone was in the bathroom. Hey, Mariquita. So
Hi, Mariquita.
Good to see you. Here's the link there for those that want to just comment, and then we can, I had one time an open forum, obviously not you, Mariquita, but I don't know if you guys remember, I had one of those open forums about 3 months ago, and someone decided to click the link that was not vegan, and not even someone that we would want on the live stream. And it was a long story, but it was so weird. So I'm like, now the rule is I will bring it to this show for you too, Lee, is make sure we know who they are, right, before they would ever come up and join. But also I had like a couple of people coming on and posting like meat type like how you get like the scrolly trolleys, I call them. So hopefully we have all good, compassionate people here. I thought it might be interesting too, after like you talk a little bit, if we just introduce like your other channel, and also obviously for those that are new here, and then we can get started. That way they know who we are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Is this the link to join, Margarita? Or how do you? I'm horrible with names. Am I saying Mark?
I sometimes just call her MQ, but it's Mariquita, like
Mariquita. Okay, I'll keep working with that.
Or you could even do it like Mariquita. She does it some way. I can't do it. I can't roll my R's
Yeah,
like.
I'm having trouble doing it the regular way, so
You're right. Let's not make it complicated,
well,
right?
I grew up with a speech impediment, so as far as that's why I like when they try to teach me Hindi, I'm having so much issue with it type thing. And they're so nice as far as that. They're like, oh no, it's just your American accent. And I'm like, no, it's not just my American accent. Even American language I have difficulty with. Like it's a whole
Right. Sometimes I do too.
yeah, it's like yeah, like as far as that goes. So what were you wanting to do? You said uh you were
I was
wanting
just
me to,
gonna say, let's maybe just introduce the show. Since you had kind of the vision of it, I thought I'd let you, so I don't like mix up exactly what the vision of what is it that we're bringing to them here with this show, or what was your vision of it?
I kind of think we'll kind of form it as we go along, but my vision is just kind of be more of a fun forum as far as that open, hopefully really more of a community show to have people chat and stuff like that. Obviously, we're both vegan, so we will talk about a lot of vegan stuff, but I don't want it just to be an echo chamber of vegan stuff. I'm gonna be able to talk about movies, politics, stuff like that. Have a lot of fun, keep it light to some extent, but also have deep discussions, but kind of be a good, safe, positive area type thing. So, like I said, we're gonna try to do the music, kind of have almost like a '70s like talk show, TV show type vibe for it type thing, and kind of just I kind of hopefully if we do it enough, we'll have at least a few regular people that can kind of ask questions and we can do stuff like try out new vegan products to hey what movie did you see to what's going on in the world type thing like I mean just kind of a I don't know if I want to compare it to The View or something like that or
Right, right.
morning show or evening show like as far as have different things as far as so I mean it can be vegan Q&A too but I don't want to be just only vegans are showing up or only talking about food like obviously I want to talk about food but we could also talk about all types of vegan stuff compassion stuff or just fun stuff as far as you know and that's where I was like it'd be fun to also sometimes have guests that are vegan cooks and stuff but not be able to have them come on and maybe get to know them outside of just the same stuff we always see them on YouTube, as far as that. Like you have the people that go on each show, but they're pretty much just doing the same thing over and over. You never get to know people's personalities, I feel like real well and stuff like that, including our own type thing. So because I feel like when you do vegan knowledge or people do cook shows, they keep it very this is our focus. We're gonna like that goes like this
Yeah,
one to be like we kind of put our heart on the sleeve type thing.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. I'm even wearing a different uniform.
So,
Laid back. Oh, kale, yeah, instead of my vegan shirt. Look at that.
oh, like I said, I would totally want to be vegan type thing. I just don't want to be only vegan. Like,
Well, I think it's
yeah,
true because a lot of times, even though we're all vegan, we don't really get to know each other outside of our vegan
yeah,
specialties, if that makes sense. So I like
that's
the fun
exactly my attitude. I want
yeah.
to maybe have conversations outside of veganism in
It
food stuff.
reminds me of Dawn's. They're in a stock trading group, but they do something called aftermarket where they can just talk about like they do talk about a lot of things that have to do with trading and stuff, but it's more about the psychology and like how their day went and like other
Yeah,
interests too that they can bring up about their family or whatever. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool to have those kind of shows. So I like it.
and get to know each other and stuff like that, and also kind of be a break to, be like I said, not just vegan, but vegans in a group as far as that, and just have fun and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
'cause I love like the physicians committee. We had Chef AJ and all that, but really kind of becomes just the same conversation over and over. Like
It's in
how many
different
times? Like it's great if you're learning like health and stuff, but I think I texted you the other day, like, how many times do I have to hear about the calorie density thing? Like, it's
right.
great. But
You
I
see
literally
right
think since
after my weight
2003,
loss
I've
work.
heard it over 100 times. Like, like I kind of want to be like, hey, what movies have you seen lately?
Except when I'm trying to get myself back on track after a junk food vegan, I do binge those shows so I can get my head around like that's
Oh, no.
right. I
And
know
this
what
is
you
what,
mean though. Like
yeah.
you can only hear it so many times.
Well,
Like
that's the thing.
you know.
Like you said, you can binge those shows. That's the thing. Those shows are already there, so we don't need another, like that in your show. Like when I said your show, as far as that, like my
Yeah.
show will be different. So, but
And I like
oh
the other show like that I did yesterday, the open forums that I do most time on Sunday or sometimes on early Monday. What they are is like basically like you said, they are shows that's a show for like people who are vegan or new vegans for to talk, but like mostly about vegans stuff like, what are you eating, what are you doing. So this one is, I like the format of it, to kind of open it up and see that we also do other things other than just be vegan.
And we can still chat about that stuff, because I do want to talk about vegan food and different stuff. And like I said, we talk about maybe we tried a new vegan product, healthy, not healthy, and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the big thing is keep it open enough that people can talk about other things, as
Like
far as.
Len and Larry's cookies.
Yeah, I went to the store to grab a couple things, because I'm this week restricted on my diet as far as that, basically grains and stuff. So, but I kind of went like that. But I was at the grocery store and I saw that, is it Tate's was the other cookie you mentioned?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like those too. And like, I think that's interesting too. I'm always interested. Like, I really want to learn more about like your religion too. Like, we don't have to do it on here, but like, especially when we talk in your interview, that is so cool.
Yeah,
I
one of
love
you,
that.
I'll probably get more. Yeah, I'm always willing to talk to, like me and I'm gonna call you MQ, if you don't mind, as far as that, so I don't mess up the name. Like my one client, his name's from Ireland. I've been taking care of him for 4 years. I just, he's known as D because people just know as far as that. So as far as that, but we were talking about the Jane a little bit today as far as that goes. So yeah, Reese cookies. I don't know if I know that
Oh,
one.
Ray, yeah, I love those. So I did I didn't never get my free ones because I was all raw then. But there was a guy that came on. I can't think of his last name, but I know his name is Ray. He's known as the Mad Cookie Man. You should try his. They're really good. Sunflower Baking Company is the name of his brand, and they're sold in stores, but you can order them online. She loves MQ, she said. And yes,
Okay.
that's the link if you want to join. Um,
Yeah,
and
that's the other thing. People hop on, I like MQ says you all. You all is my, I like always saying
welcome
you
back
all.
now, you hear?
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing. I really got into it when
Can
I
we
was in.
tell jokes on here too?
What's that?
Can we tell jokes too?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I want it to be kind of a screw off type thing, but we can be deep and stuff like that. So, you all joke?
I know. Well, I always have puns, so I'm like, if I think of one, I'm gonna say it. It just comes naturally, though. I can't like think of jokes on the spot.
Yeah. Well, I've been wanting to say namaste, you all. I think it's going to be my new thing to
Wait a
combine
minute.
it.
You want to go? Nah, I'm gonna stay. Get it?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Oh, Ortega is his last name, right? I
Yeah, I'm
ate
not
these.
familiar with that.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Mark. MQ ate my cookies. That's what happened. Yeah, you should watch. I have an interview where he talks about how he got started in the cookie business and everything. You should check him out. I heard they're really good. Now I want some since
Oh,
I've
so it's a
heard them well.
smaller business.
It's yeah, I think it's growing though. I felt like I saw something where he was trying to go on Shark Tank. You ever know that show? I used to
I'm
watch it.
familiar with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's where that, when I was it you, we were talking about the Rebel Cheese. That's where I kind of knew
Oh
the name
right.
from, because they went on Shark Tank.
They got a lot of they had every now and then, not a lot, but I've seen. I wish they had like a vegan Shark Tank. Wouldn't that be cool, with all
Mhm.
products like that we could use that were cruelty free? And maybe we should start that.
Well, the whole point
We
Shark
need
Tank
money
is,
though.
yeah, well, yeah, and they give people money to start their own thing. I don't have money to do my own. I mean,
I can tell you
I
if it's
sent you a
right. I can
message
try the
saying I'm getting
products,
40
right?
hours cut for my work a month. Like,
Send all your vegan products to us. We'll test them out and tell you if they're Shark Tank worthy, but we don't have any money.
well, a lot of that's kind of like the vegan zombie does a lot of that
Oh
stuff,
yeah, the
like that.
unboxing.
And I think it'd be fun to start doing like vegan products like that, like if people want to see it as far as that goes, like that. I also
Today
want to
we're
learn
going to
how to.
try an orange.
What's
Oh
that?
wait, that's not a vegan product. Today we're going to try oranges
What's a
until,
vegan product?
until we
It's
get
a
like
vegan food.
people sending stuff to us. We'll just do like cheap fruits.
Well, we don't have to have stuff sent. Like we try out the Reese's vegan Reese's peanut butter cups and stuff. People do that all the time to start out. And that's the thing. They do it, and then if they get a big following, people start sending them free stuff
Start sending
to
it to
do it
them.
type thing. I
I've
don't know if it'll
tried
ever be that big, but
the plant based Hershey's. I mean, it's not good for you, but I did. My mom brought a Hershey, plant-based Hershey when she came to town. Hershey bar, and it has like almonds in it. She brought one to me and Dawn, and it had melted in the car while she was traveling to bring it to us. And then we froze it, and then it was too hard to eat, and then thawed it out and tasted it, and it was still good. So, like, if that tells you anything, and I don't even know how long she had it before she gave it to us. So she
Have
just
you
needs
had
something
have
plant
you had
based.
the Reese's one?
No, I've not
Okay.
tried that
Well,
one.
they're both Hershey. Like when you showed it, when I bought the Reese's, like I've had both, and the almond one's good, but the Reese's one for me is better. So
Is
when
it
I went to the
really?
store, because I usually buy one of
Oh,
each, I was
wow.
like,
Dawn
this time
loves
I'm getting,
regular Reese's cups. Like that's her thing. Like that was a
yeah.
hard thing for her to give up. So
Oh no, they're Reese's. They make vegan cups now.
yeah, I know, but I thought a girl online anyway, she claimed the peanut butter didn't taste the same, but I don't know. I trust your judgment though.
Um, I don't know if it's as good as the original one. I mean, henceforth, this
It's
is
good
why it'd be a
enough,
fun thing
right?
to try. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if you can get it next Monday, let's try them out and discuss it. Like,
Okay.
so next Monday, that'll be a thing we'll do. We'll grab the Reese's and talk about that type thing. So
I gotta
I think
figure
it's a
out what
little
it
bit drier than the other one. So,
Yeah.
so MQ sunflowerbakery.com. Oh, so she's able to put a post up.
I put it up for
Well, oh, did you?
hmm
See, I think we also need to get like an app. If you start doing it more often, we need someone like an Apple or somebody that, how they do all this as we talk side stuff.
Yeah.
Or I need to learn how to figure out how to do it myself type thing. So this is also, I want to learn how to share the screen more so we could actually bring up the Google and show the things we're talking about type thing.
hmm
As far as, because I'll notice a lot of YouTubers do that. Philip says they taste like they did back in the 70s. Hey, Philip, thanks for joining us.
Hey Philip, thank you.
So Philip, 70s, yeah. So Philip's older than I am. I'm 79. So yeah.
I was born 77.
Okay, so we're right around I didn't realize you're that close to my age. I thought you were younger.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that. I paid him to say that.
I'm trying to think which is it Justine's does
Oh
there's a
yeah, the dark chocolate ones, right?
yeah, I think I like them.
I don't really like. I don't know what it is about dark chocolate. I've never been a big fan of dark chocolate, and I tried. But are they vegan, Justine?
I think Justine's is,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I
I can't remember
might
because
be
I
wrong.
tried those way before I was vegan because I was always toying around with plant-based stuff. But
Well, I don't know if they like hardcore advertises vegan. I don't know if every single one, but like that. And there's another one that's pretty good. So dark chocolate, I'm not a big fan of straight dark chocolate, but I like combos. So if it's something sweet in it, it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup dark chocolate I like type thing. It's kind of like
butter makes everything good, right?
yeah. As far as that goes. But yeah, where'd you get that Hershey's? Because you can get this Reese's peanut butter in the Hershey's both at Target and Walmart, I know, at some locations.
Probably where she got it because she does go to Walmart. So I don't know where she got it. I forgot to ask her, but I saw that's the only place around here that has them is Target. But the cool thing is they have where I can order Instacart because Target's like 30 minutes away, but they will deliver it probably for a fee if I don't have time to drive there. So, oh, sorry. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, there you go. Cool. Hey.
MQ the house. I didn't even hear you come in, probably because I was running my mouth. I'm supposed to hear a little beep when people come in, but I didn't hear it. Did you? Lee?
Me? No. Well, I don't know how this stuff, I'm still learning type thing. I just saw the private chat pop up and says I'm backstage.
Yeah.
I
saw that. That was good.
No, I've had those Reese's before. They're pretty good. I mean, I like them. They're not.
It's been so long since I've had a regular one. I'd probably like it just because it tasted, even if it just tasted a little bit like a Reese's.
No, it tastes a lot like them. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody would notice the difference. They might.
The only difference I kind of noticed is the regular Reese's because I went off the vegan wagon for a little while, like a few years ago. I think are a little bit more moist, like buttery. Like it kind of, how sometimes in the school, I don't know how long ago you guys remember Reese's, but when you get a fresh one or if you've had one for a week, how it dries out.
It's in the store.
Well, and they also, the ones you buy don't come in the doesn't have the wrapper around it. The Reese's are just in it, so I think that lets it dry more compared to, which is more environmentally friendly, which is good as far as that goes. So, hey, Carl.
Yeah, Dawn would get
Mhm.
so aggravated. Like before we were vegan, like this one place we'd go to, it's like they would leave their Reese's, I guess, on the shelf for like years because she would get it and open it up and it would just crumble. You know, like it was almost like powdered peanut butter inside because it was so
Yeah.
old. Um,
See, that's my
hey,
weak. That's
Carl.
my weakness for sweet things. I'm not a. I like pop okay, but I'm a person that doesn't drink a lot of my sugar. That I like. If I'm gonna do sweet, I think it's called like sweet and savory, like Reese's peanut butter or vegan cheesecake or cake is how I like. I'm not a big like milkshake person. I'm much more of a
Cake.
that type of thing. Okay, try like buttery and sweet, like like Jolly Ranchers and things like that. I like okay, but it's not a big deal. Or like
Mhm.
Dots, which are vegan, which I'll eat at occasion. But yeah, like chocolatey candies and stuff like that is my. If I'm gonna go sweet like that, like that's the type of dessert. Like I'd much rather have that than a cola or something like that. Not like I don't like cola, but that's like a lot of people are like I give up cola and I can lose a lot of weight. Well, I don't drink cola enough. Like I can put a root beer in my fridge, I'll be there for 2 months. Like
Right.
yeah, unless I go to a movie theater or it's movie time because that's that Pablo dog effect.
Mhm.
Like you
Right, you need
buttery
and
popcorn
think
and Coke.
sometimes,
Like you yeah.
when you're eating healthy, you want certain things. Like I can drink water when I'm eating ultra healthy, but like if you do eat something bad, like if you're at a vegan, trying to do like cookout or something, it's almost like that. If you're eating a hamburger or a hot dog, a vegan, even vegan, you want the soda
Yeah.
with it, something like that.
Well, it's
That's
that childhood memory for me as far as that
yeah,
goes.
movies
Like
especially because my mom used to take me to the movies and my grandfather when I was young, and so you do get kind of. We were talking about that, especially
yeah,
with you,
it's
American.
nostalgic. Yeah, that's why if I watch like a old school like scary movie or a kids movie, it reminds me of my friends having sleepovers. You stay up, you know, I get like a vegan pizza and stuff. So MQ, we chatted today. So are you raw or just vegan? What is your? It doesn't matter to me. It's just kind of curious. You said you had the Reese's cups, so
I
oh,
can't hear you.
we can't hear you. Oh.
That's why she was being so quiet. Oh, Carl, thank you for joining. Meditating is very important.
Oh yeah, way
While
more
we're
important than
waiting
this.
for her to talk, funny story this morning. Dawn said she came in the room after I woke up because I was like up for a while last night. So I slept in a little bit. And she's like, I went to meditate and I ended up editing like a video for her group. And I was like, but the word edit is actually in meditate. So like you had part of it. I was like, I never realized that. I don't know. That's that thinking of pun things or whatever plays on words. I was thinking, I was like, actually, you got part of it. You got the edit in meditating.
So MQ, can we hear you now? No, I'm still.
Let's see. Maybe I can help. No,
Yeah, because
you're
it's
not
not
muted.
showing that you're muted. And when you came on, we could hear you. Do you want to try hopping off and hopping back on and see if that
That
works?
might work. Let me see. I'll take her off and on. I'm going to put you off and on. Ready? Here she comes. Try that.
Oh,
What is going on?
and on your end, you don't have people muted because that one time you had me muted, but nobody else with the last person like that. So double check.
Can't no, because I see her mute. Her mic is on.
Is anything coming on your end like them saying you're muted by the host or anything, MQ?
No, because I could see it muted too, but I don't see any mute. Like, let me see. Because you're able to talk, so I don't think it's anything overall.
Yeah, but that one time we was it last Monday?
Well, I did mute everyone last Monday
But
because
then when you unmuted them, everybody else could talk, but I didn't worry about it because I was busy, but I still couldn't talk. Like every time I tried to talk, it would say muted by.
But I never muted her or anything. Like
Oh, she
that
might be checking her earphones. Yeah. Is it possible it's connected to a Bluetooth? I'll do that sometimes. Like I'll hop on and well, this is disappointing. Yes.
maybe go all the way out. Like maybe you leave and come in after you. Can you hear us?
Do you want to type what you're saying? So do you want to try to totally log out and log back in and see if that kicks it back in? Because that's weird. We could hear her when she came on.
Could we?
Yeah, because she was talking about when she was having the races that she was saying. Yeah, we were totally disgusting. Like it just totally cut out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so it was working. That's what I'm saying. It has to be.
Yeah, that was weird. Because I didn't touch anything. That's so strange.
Okay, I heard it ding, so that's her coming back in.
No, that was now she just came in. That was my notification, I think.
All right, let's try.
Let me click on her. Just make sure if there's Philip. Brilliant.
You're saying I don't have any control on my end.
Like when I pull all three of you up, I can see everybody's on and everybody's unmuted. So I don't know why. Let's go here. See, everybody's on.
I'm gonna see if we can hear her on Twitch.
Unmuted, so I don't know why.
Go ahead and say something, MQ. I'm gonna see if we can hear her on Twitch. Go ahead and say something, MQ. Yeah, I'm not hearing you on that either. I think she's just saying bye, give up for now. Well, we got to get that figured out.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to her sound, though. That's just strange. And like our sound is still working.
Well, can you type in, so are you raw, vegan, as far as the question I was asking you that?
She's like whole food, plant-based, but also eats some vegan junk food, I would say. Like
basically, she's like I am, basically, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I know of her.
I mean, not putting words in her mouth.
But a lot of raw food, like, she'll eat raw fruits and vegetables, but not like me. Like
yeah. There's a difference between eating raw and calling yourself raw, where you're trying to be,
Yeah,
like that. Like I'm vegan. Like I said, I always say I try to eat whole food, plant based. Obviously, I think that's the healthiest, but I'm not stickler. I'm also like I'm human, so I like some vegan junk food too, as far as that goes. Like
I've been all over the place, as you know.
Well, that's the other thing I kind of want the show to be is. I've noticed even in my book club a few times, a few people are always like, "Oh, I have to say I had a Gardein burger." I'm like, "No, we're all human. Like, it's nice to have a place being like, even if you're raw, whole food, plant based. Let's be honest, like, we like to have our fun and stuff like that." And
there's very few people who can say I've only ate for my whole life raw food, even to say I've only ate vegan. But I will never go back to not eating vegan. But I definitely have went through the gamut of raw. Then found Chipotle, and that was all she wrote. I found Beyond and Gardein, and then I went back raw. Then I went whole food plant-based.
So she's back.
Okay.
There we go. Excellent.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
did you do something different, or
did you?
Well,
like, I was like, I'm not anti-MQ. I promise. I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
I could see the skepticism ever since he got muted that time.
That was so
well, I
weird.
didn't think you did it on purpose. I just think there's a flaw in the system. Like
Right. I know what you meant.
Well, I had a story to tell.
Okay.
You
Because
have the
Carl
floor
said,
now. We can hear you.
It's all
I
you
know.
now.
I was like, this is too big a story. I mean, to type out, but JJ might have heard it. But um, yesterday, when I was in the energy healing room, I was doing at Unity North, our church, and I was telling now I have to think of your name, Lee,
Lee,
because I'm
Lee,
getting
Lee or
confused with
Ryan.
all the
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
Everyone's name. Okay. Anyway,
Why
so
are our names not on here?
I
That's a
know
good point.
that's funny.
Oh
You're
yeah.
right. Our names are not.
We're a work in progress over here.
I hope I'm still heard. Okay. So
Mhm.
we were so I was telling my friend Kelly, I feel just like I'm emotionally drained, and she's a very powerful healer. And so she said, okay, we're going to work on it. And so when I closed my eyes and she was doing the energy healing, I was just really connected with my inner child, and I was feeling my inner child right here, and then I felt this big wave, like a heartbeat, and it was little Mick, my dog, and I could feel little Mickey here. He was just like back and forth, this strong energy encircling me. And then I felt my friend, well, everybody's going to think my names are weird, but Little Chimp. But I guess it's okay. And of course, it's okay. So my friend Little Chimp, who passed away, um, I could feel his energy, and it was like a loop this way around me. And then I felt like my mom was here, and it was like rain, just raindrops of love, coming down. So I had these three powerful energies, and this little inner child. Um, and so I was really sitting in it and really vibrating very, you know, elevated vibration. And then afterwards, Kelly came over and she said, I mean, afterwards, she was right there. She said, um, that she could feel like the three council members or I don't know what she said, something like that. Energies, three powerful energies surrounding me. And she said, I felt a little baby right here, that needed nurturing. And she
Oh,
said,
wow.
I know. And she said that these three energies see how much you give to the world. So they were giving that love back to you. They were bringing it up from the world and back into you. And just to know that they're always there supporting you and to really take care of yourself. And that was just so incredible that she said basically the same thing that I was experiencing. It was like one of the most powerful experiences that I've had in energy healing. And Carl reminded me when he said he was meditating.
Oh,
So
that's
how often
cool.
do you do the why am I blanking? You just said the word
Energy
healing.
healing.
Energy, that's the word I blanked out on. Energy healing. Like, are you doing that weekly or
So at Unity North Church, we have a wholeness ministry group, and
hey Tessa?
so it's every week we have it. So I go every week. Now I am one of the healers too. I studied, the Reiki, so I give back. But I thought today I'm going to sit down for a little bit. But it was it's amazing. It's so wonderful because when I first started, one of the most powerful healers, John, he said he saw he looked over and he saw like this very brilliant light coming from me when I was giving energy work. So it was amazing. I was excited. I'm very excited about it. Thank you,
It's
Yeah.
Carl.
great. You're very excited. I love you can tell when someone loves something. Like I hear you kind of light up when you talk about it, and you just have like a sense of calm. And I hear that in Lee when he talks about the Jainism, and you can hear that in me when I talk about, I don't know, something about nutrition maybe,
Vegan?
or
Yeah.
my cats.
Well, you don't hear me talk about my cat. I'm way more excited
We're
about.
not talking right.
There was something on Facebook. Someone put up a survey. They're like, "Oh, we're looking for people that like cats." And I was like, "Well, how about people that love cats? Because life is not anywhere close
Life
to the
is not
proper word."
strong enough, right?
Yeah, at all. I was like, yeah, and
That's
so
like Marakita with Louie. I love. Well, I know we were talking about your other animal.
Mickey.
Your Mickey,
mhm.
right? But like Louie is like, I mean, such a cool little photogenic. It's like he's always with her, and I love that. I'm almost like jealous that I can't take my cats places. Like I could. I've seen people walk their cats, but like I would like to have that relationship. I can just throw the dog in the car and like it's so much different with cats. They're not as like it's
Oh,
not as common, but I've seen people put them on like leash.
I bought a harness. I want to start working with that with Mookie, and I have a backpack that's made to hike with your cat in it, so you can see out
Oh,
of it.
that's sweet.
And then it like opens up, so he can kind of like walk. I mean, it opens up, and it's still like closed in type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm thinking that, because like I said, in a year or so, I'd like to be able to be in a spot that I can live in a camper and travel around, but I
Mm-hmm.
need to make it possible for Mookie to have a good life too, as far as that. Mookie's my cat, by the way. As far
Yeah, I mean,
is right behind me. He was sick
oh,
yesterday. He's all perky now, back up, feeling good.
That's
well, you can
amazing.
train your cats to take them with you, definitely, to
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
on leashes.
yeah. I need to work on that. So that's the other goal over the year type thing. So he's
And you
such a.
gotta see. Look, I told you he's sleeping behind me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
He's always there.
and
So
that's
he would definitely come with me. He's
Mookie.
like
You can see
never
right
out of
here.
my sight. Like I think it's like how you guys are with your animal, like Louie. Whenever I see her like on vacation on the beach, Louie's got a picture on the beach, right? Like I love that picture of him, and like I always see your cat. The other day I thought his cat was Neo in the window, and I'm like, oh wait, that's your cat. I thought I was seeing the reflection. So like
Well,
I
yeah,
love
because you both
things
have
like
black cat.
the spiritual connection, like, and that's one of the things that it's like so wild, like that compartmentalization that I had before of like, this is a pet, this is animal. And I love what you do, NQ, also with the animal ministry, is you bring that sense of like all animals, not just cats, not even the ones
Yeah,
we like pigs and cows where we're trying to save them from this horrible, life, but also like all animals have such a like not even the little bug on the ground up to like a an eagle or whatever, or what is it that you always are showing you're holding at
The vulture. Well,
the
I love the vultures, but oh, the snakes, the I don't
yeah,
know, the opossums.
all
I
of
mean,
those fox, those type of
on my Twitch, I got a picture of this little slug that was
lizards.
at my doorstep that like that I took a picture of. And when I backpack, when I walk around, that's why I like to go slow and I'll move off and I can feel as far as that. When you're talking about energy, like I have friends that do Reiki and the energy healing and stuff. I don't really let people do it on me. I did massage at one time and I will pick up energy from other people to the
Hmm.
point it made me really sick and stuff. But to me, I get a lot of my energy from trees, touching animals and stuff because it's a cleaner thing. I'm very which might be why I'm 46 single and stuff. Like I'm very like as far as that like energy wise, like I'm very like when I touch people and stuff have to be boundaries. So I'll pull up like they're kind of as far as that goes. So that's why like when I'm in the woods and stuff like that, it's so much, that's where I feel the least alone, to be honest. Cause I mean, I still, to me, I'm there with the family from every, little bug to, the trees and stuff like that. So, but I think with
I
me
knew
going,
you two would get along because you remind like I've heard you say that too
yeah,
about like that you had another like experience. I remember you talking about also MQ with like him with the tree and like feeling connected and stuff too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That yeah, that definitely the tree just feels. I don't even remember what the tree said exactly now, but it was just really experiencing that essence of life. Really breathing in. I mean, that was the message from the tree was just to really allow and experience. But yeah, when the forest when I'm doing the forest bathing, it's very powerful when you really you well, one thing I learned is to ask permission. May I touch you, right, to the tree, or may I interact with you? And then you wait, right? And then you see what happens. What you'll learn from that tree. And I had learned from those trees that one time about I saw her wounds and I saw just the course of life, and then the friendship of the true trees together and me with them, just the whole circle of life, the root system and how we're all connected. So yeah, I mean, amazing things happen when we stop to have a moment of quiet. And Reverend Richard was actually had a sermon this past Sunday on it, and he was saying when we just stop and look, and he said, just now I just stopped and saw these little ants, playing joyfully under my feet, while I'm doing, while we're here in this circle. And I was looking at a flower, the same thing. How simple it is when we just take a minute to look around us and, all the things that we're missing in life.
Now, did the connection come with you later in life, or is that something you had throughout your whole life? Kind of like JJ said, it wasn't till you went vegan that you made,
Yeah, like the connection between pets and like animals and all
yeah,
animals being
or
interconnected.
just that, or
And
yeah.
then
Do
I
you
just
do? But do you feel
recently,
the energy like we're talking about, or is this kind of like, oh, well, you?
Me? Do I,
No, JJ. No, you. I'm saying JJ. When like the type of like energy stuff, do you
oh,
experience that now?
like I noticed this is something recent with me. Like I've always really loved the beach and the feeling, but I didn't never know why. And like the other day, just recently this year, from like hearing a lot of the energy stuff and how the sun creates energy, I actually felt the sun's energy like absorb me. You know what I mean? Where I tend to not take a moment sometimes to look around. So I think listening to MQ has really kind of, and other things about grounding and stuff is kind of trying to prepare my mind better because I feel like I get, like you said, focused a lot on like what's going on and getting things done and wanting to do things for people and also content and work, and we forget to take a look around, and I've been trying to do that a little bit this year is work on my energy.
So MQ, my question was like, so this connection and stuff, was that
oh,
something you learned later, or was that you?
well, I think it came about when I was in the vegan space and animal ministry space, and then one of the ladies at church who's in earth care saw, wait a minute, she needs to come to earth care. And then I began interacting with the earth care people. And I had also met climate healers, some of them on Facebook, but it really came full circle. Or the awakening when I got involved in that earth care ministry, because then I saw, wait a minute, I'm not really understanding about forest, about the power in nature. And so, in this past year or two, I guess, they kind of came to me, the healers in that group at church, and then I began learning from them. That's where I learned the forest bathing, and I learned um, these other things, the Reiki. It's all from that church. I mean, that church is very powerful. Unity.
Now, is unity like? Because I was getting confused with Unitarian when I talked with you today. Is that a church just in your area, or is Unity a like a nationwide? Like like Methodist church, there's different Methodists, there's different Baptists, there's different
It's
temples. Like
nationwide, and
okay,
there's a veg unity in Maryland, where
That's
they
right.
yeah, they're very. I mean, they
There's a
want,
Med Unity Church.
yeah, veg unity, where they have set up where their food is going to be healing for their congregation. I wish we could get there, but JJ's the closest, so she's got
Where
to
is it? Like, is it here in
Baltimore, I
the
think.
area? Oh,
Baltimore.
that's where I originated from. I mean, I originated. That's where I was born. I don't know why I
Well, you
said it like
start
that.
from the
I
seed,
meant
yeah.
to say that's where I'm originally from, and then that's where I was born, and it came out. That's where I originated from. I originated from my mother, actually, right?
Well,
Or
imagine
maybe
that.
my father. I don't know how we want to look at it.
Right. But I mean, I think it'd be great if everyone in their church would start an animal ministry. Someone actually came from LJ. And I don't know if has a unity up there, a Unitarian or whatever church she was. And she said this would go really well at our church. So that was good that she came we had our service on Sunday, and she watched, and she wants to start it at her church.
That's so cool.
so I'm gonna bring something up on the page. Let me.
Okay, I'll let it in.
Well, let me get in my spot here. Okay, computer, do what I want you to do.
I want to know why yesterday our names were. I wonder if because I changed that background is Dawn might
Yeah,
know.
that's weird that our names aren't on there.
So we can have up to 10 guests on here. Dawn, do you know why
ten including you.
our names aren't showing up underneath of us? Like did I click something? But this is the new setup, so I'll just keep playing with it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was like, let's just screw around with it on here. I think it'll be fun for people to feel more connected to see a
Yeah.
regular. So,
Well,
can you add? I have something in whatever you call it, the side to go on the screen. How do?
Got it.
So is this is near me? Is this the same church you're talking about?
Yeah, that's Unity. Uh-huh.
Oh, cool. This is only 20 minutes for me, so I might pop in sometime and say hi. I actually think one of the other guys I've become friends with, he's a caregiver, and I feel like he goes to, because we talk about that's about my spiritual and stuff like that, and he's a different part, but I feel like he said he goes to, and I feel like he said Unity Church as far as that, which was close to what he was used to type thing. So I wonder if he goes there. So because his kind of personality philosophy is very similar to you, MQ, which would kind of line up as far as that goes. So you can take that down now. I just wanted to ask her, or you can leave it up. I mean, but I wanted you to see it like that.
That's okay.
Yeah, and the founders, like I said, were plant-based. They did not use leather for their Bibles, and they really encouraged eating whole foods from the earth, right? Unfortunately, our unity doesn't really talk about that much, but I'm the leader of the Healthy Living Group, so I really encourage people to do that. So I do my part as much as I can with earth care, healthy living, and animal ministry. So
See, I grew up Methodist as far as that, and um, John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist Church, was actually vegan. Now, the Methodist Church doesn't like that, but actually, once I studied him, it was really interesting as far as that, that he just felt like, being whole food plant based. He wasn't calling it that, but he was like vegan. Really interesting guy. I also found out he's really big about fighting against slavery and stuff like that. He was very, unfortunately, a lot of the Methodist Church doesn't go that. But it's like, it was later I learned more about that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, and I was like, that's probably why growing up in Methodist, why I'm more open minded, because he also was the first ministers to really like say, oh no, women should preach too, like should be equal. Like and this was back in like the 1800s. So the stuff he was, I mean, to not eat meat back in the 1800s, in the United States and the UK, like, my that's just craziness type of thing, as far as especially in UK, United States. I mean, if you're in India and stuff, not eating meat's been, part of that forever as far as that goes. So
right,
It's
that's good to know.
interesting.
so what's everyone in the chat doing today?
Our names
Carl,
are back.
what's that?
Our names are back. At least
Oh, how'd you do that?
I don't know, but I clicked something that worked, so we're gonna go with that. I just was clicking around on different. I
And they
figured it
just
out.
disappeared again.
Yep.
Well, I
Oh,
think they disappear. I think it's when we have it's small, it looks like, and up. So I do know you can also click and make it look different ways, because I was screwing around with Restream today as far as that goes too. So
oh
so
right.
basically,
I'm just kidding.
MQ,
You went on
so the
mine.
reason I was asking MQ, so you said it was still a little bit later in life type thing. So because my connection with animals and stuff
Happy birthday,
has
Tessa.
been all my life type thing. But I think that has a lot to do, not the fact that I grew up on a farm, but I spent a lot of time, we call it the pit pond, as a kid out in the country, just hanging out by myself around the pond with my cat and my dogs and the animals, and of course like that. So now that I look back, I think a lot of reason I learned strong connection is, oh yeah, I did spend like 8 hours a day. Like my dad always described us as, I had my brother that passed away. My brother would come out. This part not true. Would say kick the dog and then climb up on the tractor. My dad like that, but describe like, he'd go out, see the dog, go at the tractor. He's like Ryan would come out, hug, kiss the dog, climb up in the trees, and hang out with the cats all day. So a big portion of my life, I think, was raised by cats. Like I spent a lot of my conversations, even, and it's awful now. I mean, I grew up on the pig farm, but I'd write all my stories I read to my animals, but I spent a lot of times just hanging out in the pond and stuff like that. So I think I just, from a young age, had a small connection, because, I like that, for me to hang out with friends, I had to ride my bike 3 miles to get to town type thing. I didn't, as far as that. So
Where did you grow up?
what's that?
Where did you grow up?
Indiana.
Oh, okay. I love that. When you say Indiana, I think
Mm.
kind country. I don't know.
Which I don't think. What do you opinion? Ask Philip what his opinion is. The town I grew up is a lot of negativity and stuff. There's a reason I had to go back home for a while, and because my brother passed away, I had to help out. That's when I quit being vegan and stuff. Like once I do the interviews on your things, I'll get deeper into it as far as that. So, but I went vegan in like 2003. There was a few years I quit being vegan. My reason for quitting being vegan wasn't, oh, meat's healthy for you, is I was depressed and I wanted to lose my life. So I took up drinking heavy, smoking, and I knew adding meat and dairy was a good way not to live a long, happy life. So I was the opposite of when people are like, I'm going to quit being vegan because I think it's, be healthy. I was like, I'm going to quit being vegan because I know this is the unhealthy thing, because I kind of got trapped at home and was forced to do things as far as that. So once I broke free of that, everything's got back in my life type things. Oh,
That's
and I
interesting.
think it's a beautiful story of how we can be broken, like as far as like different things can take over us, you know what I mean? But look at what the good you're putting in the world now, how
yeah.
you healed from that, and now you're helping others understand compassion. I love that, and I'm proud of you for bringing
Oh,
yourself out of that, because
appreciate
family
that.
things are very
Yeah.
difficult to overcome.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, and I'm not getting deep into it type of thing, but I always like to point that out when I say, oh, I wasn't vegan for a while. I don't want people to think I quit being vegan because I didn't think it was, the healthy way to be. I was like, I quit being, the way it all finally ended is I purposely ran my car into a telephone pole to take my life out. That's how bad it was type thing. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
as far as, yeah. And when I went back, that's why I came to Washington, to get out of that. Actually, what triggered the question is happy place of Indiana. For me, it was not a happy spot when I went back. And my aunt, who from church taught me when I first saw that animal, was like, God created everything, so he loves every little ant. That always stuck with me. So, but her thing was, Ryan, you're naturally a happy person. You just need to get out of here, be away from these people, go back to being how you are. And that's how I kind of got back as far as that. So yeah, that's why like Kentucky's kind of Indiana. I never consider Indiana my home. Indiana's kind of where I grew up type thing. I really consider the whole world my home. I connect everywhere. I don't consider Washington. I like it out here, but it's not exactly my vibe as far as a very passive aggressive type thing. So hey, Apple made it.
You're popping You're popping with the screen graphics. Nice. Oh yeah. We wanted to have a different. I think that is
Oh, the
that
background.
it's a good thing, right? It's not too flashy or anything.
I like it.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to do one that was like moving, because I know that I remember Apple, you saying that wasn't good for some people's eyes, and different
I'll,
conditions.
I'll be right back. I got to do. I've
Okay.
been drinking a lot of liquid. Bathroom break for me real quick. So.
Okay. MQ said you're excused. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I like that story
Yeah,
because
that's interesting. Thank you, Apple. And hey, Apple said I'm quite late. Get caught up in my art studio and lost track. Well, that's a great place to lose track of time. I
what
loved it.
kind of art? Um, I was yeah, what kind of art, Apple? And I always was a helper. I always knew that I wanted to. I was not always connected to animals. I had animals, but I wasn't like I am today. I mean, I wasn't awake.
I know. I think a lot of us had to come through our trauma and our childhood or whatever, even if it was happy, but we weren't connected until, like, I feel like I wasn't until my 40s. So whatever you're going through in life, just know that even if it seems like there's no way out, definitely reach out. I know it's easier said than done, but like his aunt helped him through that. But just one phrase, it's like somebody is there to help. So reach out to someone, and there's always another alternative. I find, as bad as things seem, that, like, when we look at things throughout our life, at different parts of my life, I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. But then, like 10 years, when you're in a different position, you realize it was just a blurb of time, even though it seemed like so intense there. Strobing triggers strokes for me. I have a neurological disorder. Yes. Is this one okay though, or you really did just were telling me you like the graphics? I just want to make sure it's not too bright or anything, because we were going for like Lee had a vision of like a sitcom kind of 70s vibe, and I thought this was the closest one I found to that, to kind of just be like we're all just hanging out and happy, and you know um let's see. Hey, Serenity, thanks for joining. Hey, Apple a day. Happy Monday to you. And Apple said, oh, Tracy. Okay, so she said Tracy. Did I miss Tracy, or is that Serenity's name? I don't know. I'll stop.
I was about to say, do I know a Tracy?
It's beautiful. I like it. No problem from Rain. Awesome. Yay. I love it. Thank you so much. And now I know you're an artist, so I really appreciate that because she likes our background.
So where's everyone? I always like to ask where everyone's from because I don't know. I don't think I know Serenity Blooms, which is a cool name. So yeah, where's everyone from? Because I know Apple, Vancouver, Washington, MQ. I don't know why I feel like I need to say this. Georgia, Maryland, Carl, we're in Scotland, and Philip, we're in Indianapolis, Indiana, right near my home area. So, and Tessa, I don't know where Tessa or Serenity is from.
Tessa's from Canada. I learned yesterday again.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
Oh, cool.
Waikiki. Where's Waikiki? I know that word, but I don't
Hawaii.
know.
Is that right?
Oh, that is Hawaii. Wow.
Can you guys see the chat now? It's like coming up along the right so our names don't disappear. Is that okay? Or do you need me to enlarge them for us? Or are you okay with it like that?
What did I say, Apple? I thought I said Vancouver. Did I say something? Maybe wrong. I knew you're Vancouver, BC. If I didn't say that, I said it wrong. So, because you're the closest person to me usually in the chats. Even if, ironically, we're in different countries, but I'm closer to her than I am anyone else as far as that goes. So, did Serenity grow up in Hawaii? That'd be really. I got a friend that just got moved over there with a church in Hawaii. I was chatting with. I'm not sure where at, but I'm kind of like I need to come visit you.
Hawaii. That's what is it? Ho'oponopono? Is that right? You know, Lee?
I do not know. No. Apple, I probably did say Vancouver, Washington, because as far as that, I have a habit of what's in my brain. That's part of my learning disability. Sometimes the thing in my brain doesn't come out what's in my mouth. So I probably said Vancouver, Washington, and I'm here in Vancouver, BC. So, but what you're asking me, I don't think I.
Ho'oponopono. Let me look it up.
Yeah, is that a place or is that a saying? I'll be honest, I'm not at all.
Okay, I know it's a Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian. Here it is, a Hawaiian practice of forgiveness and reconciliation that involves expressing remorse, asking for forgiveness, and expressing gratitude and light. It's like, I think I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Now I'm not sure if it's in that order. You know, it's those three things, and you see that's what it means, Ho'oponopono. So it's like a kind of like a chant. If you're just like, a
Like
meditation,
a mantra.
Ho'oponopono. Yeah, a mantra, right?
We were
Yes,
discussing a
Ho'oponopono.
mantra, not last show before. So, oh, so Serenity, you're in Portland, Oregon for a while too. So when did you move to Hawaii, and why did you move to Hawaii? I plan to be in Portland hopefully in the next couple of weeks, type thing.
Well, I hope you come to Atlanta with your cat for the animal ministry service.
Oh, I would love to do that. That will be down the Portland. I can drive to within a day or two. Georgia, like I said, I'm hoping by 2025, either I'm going to do the Food for Life or have my own thing that I'm hopefully be able to just travel the country and teach whole food plant-based basic cooking. Like I said, my big passion is to teach people that have to go to food banks and things like that and kind of learn to do what you as far as that goes. Like basically if you're flat broke on a food stamps, what's the healthiest you can do and deal with people in food deserts and stuff. So, but that would be my dream, to go like hit Georgia, your area, spend a month there, maybe do some classes and stuff, get to know the area, say hi to people, and also connect with like Unity Church and stuff like that and teach cooking classes at that. As far
Well,
as
yeah,
that.
I mean, you can be my guest at Healthy Living Group, Animal Ministry, Earth Care. You can be a speaker for all of them.
Oh yeah, I'll be all. I mean, if you want to hear me speak, that's fine. As far as, but I'll be happy. We'll see a year from there. But I'll definitely be your guest, and definitely as far as that. So I don't know if I'll have anything worth saying or not. So
come on,
yeah.
Of course you do.
So yeah, but my big thing is I want to come in and connect communities and stuff like that. So moved 2.5 years ago. When my husband, I guess I'll just read it out loud. Moved 2.5 years ago when my husband of 23 years died. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
From the sad diet, and I've lost 200 pounds eating whole food plant based. What's the E? whole food plant.
I think it should be B.
Oh, okay. There's so many different things that people are always throwing on, like oil free or something like that. So I always ask, I'm like, as far as it's like, is that a new one that I don't know? I was like, hey, it's not oil, it's not salt free. It's like, is there an E word? So, oh, that's really cool. I'd be definitely curious about hearing your story, Serenity, as far as that goes.
200 pounds. That's amazing. You should be a
Yeah,
guest on these shows, all of our
yeah,
shows.
yeah, yeah.
Plant-
I would be interested in having you. Oh, plant-based exclusive. Oh, that's funny.
Ah,
Me and JJ were talking about that because technically base means you can technically have meat if you really wanted to. So she was saying, should we say exclusive as far as
plant.
that goes?
So plant exclusive, but that's still no meat, is it?
No, it's the opposite because technically, like Dr. Furman can say you can technically have fish every so often because base means the base is what it's mostly made of. Exclusive means absolutely no meat. It's basically just
Oh,
specifying. Because there's been a few times and like I get frustrated sometimes, like some people are like, I'm whole food plant based, but I can occasionally have a burger, I can occasionally have chicken, where exclusive means, because technically if you're just in it only for the health, really if you're just 70 or 85, 90%, they say it doesn't make a big difference, but exclusive is, and that to me is the difference between vegan and whole food plant based, which I think both are great. But when you say vegan, that's when you're avoiding leather. You're hitting the philosophy. You can say I eat a vegan diet, but to me, if you say I am vegan, I'm expecting, to me, like when I say I'm vegan, that means I'm buying shoes to make sure there's no animal products in it. I'm buying, my shaving cream. I'm making sure, it's vegan. My shampoo and everything to the extent I can do. I mean, everything, unfortunately, there's only so much you can do. I mean, my car has leather seats in it, unfortunately, because I have to buy a used car. I don't have the luxury of buying a brand new car that I can pick things out. You have to do what's in your price range and stuff like that. And it's hard to get cars without leather seats, unless you're like, you have that privilege of I can buy a brand new Subaru and pick out the one with that. So,
yep.
I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay, no problem. So were you vegan all your life, MQ, or was that something?
I was in 95. I watched Meet Your Meat. And so then I went vegetarian and then I went vegan some and then back to vegetarian and then vegan. I hate it when people say they really weren't vegan. I really was vegan, but I struggled just like I'm a human
Yeah,
being. And that's what I've learned as a coach to
yeah.
forgive myself, right? And then
I
know that,
heard someone make
like
that
you're
comment
saying,
about
like,
some celebrity, and he's like, "Well, if you go back from being vegan, you weren't vegan." I'm like, everyone. I mean, he's not vegan now, like the person we're talking about. Yeah, and I think people get too hung up. My attitude is, as long as you're trying, like, there's a difference between like, even if you're vegan, let's say you screw up and you have meat, you break into your weaknesses because it's kind of like alcohol. You're trying to kick it type thing. I still don't beat yourself up. You're still vegan. Now, to me, that's different. Now, if you say I'm vegan, but I let myself cheat every so often, no, you're not vegan. There's a difference between I feel bad. I broke into my weaknesses. Everyone's human. There's another thing is, I allow myself to, like, I know people like, I'm vegan, but I eat seafood when I'm at restaurants. Well, no, you're not vegan. I mean, hey, still good for you, but I'm like, that's technically not just a proper word, because I do think it's important to specify as far as that, because to me it's like whole food plant-based is great, but then morally is the vegan aspect of it, and it's something like that. If we just say, oh, vegans, you're just eating healthy, but you don't care about the effects on the environment or the animals, I'm like, well, you're kind of losing the philosophy aspect of it, which to each their own. But I think there is a difference. Same reason technically we could all say, if you're just going by diet, we can say we're all Rastafari, because in the Rastafari religion you eat vegan. But just because I'm eating the same as a Rastafari, I don't have their same religious, it's sort of like if you ate kosher but you didn't believe in the Jewish religion, like philosophy, well, that's great, but I don't think you can call yourself Jewish just because you're eating the same diet as being Jewish, And I'm not saying one's good or bad, but I think it's important to specify, especially the whole meat on occasion, because then I'll run into people being like, well, my other friend's a vegan and she'll let her myself have meat every so often. Why are you so? I was like, I shouldn't be having these discussions. Like, I kind of miss the old days when people didn't know what vegan was, compared to now I have to redefine. Like, no, vegan really means I never eat meat. Like, like as far as you know,
It's complicated. It gets very complicated, and
yeah,
I don't even know. I don't even like to. I try not to say that word too much at church. And so when I was really doing the vegan empowerment coaching, I was really focused on that. But that's why I kind of stepped away from that now to harmonic earth healer, where it's not just V, this big V. I still am a V, but I
yeah.
want to communicate with the non V's too. You
Well,
know.
yeah. See, that's where I'm at type thing. I'll be honest. Like, when I went vegan like way back in the day, and I worked at TGF Fridays, which was great. Actually, our person vegetarian did a lot of stuff, and then I worked at the raw food restaurant. Honestly, I think I did more good working at a restaurant that wasn't vegan, because I got to be happy and share it with people, compared to at the raw food place. I was in an echo chamber. Just, it's kind of like spiritually, you're preaching to the choir type thing. To me, I think it's more important for me, as far as that, to be a positive, and I don't have to call myself vegan, ambassador, and be around people like that and make it more comfortable. Hey, do meatless Mondays. Everything's a step as far as that. I'm always happy when people are being more compassionate. Like, I'm not, that's why I always sometimes worry, like when I'm being sticklers about the names, it's not that I think you're this is superior over that. I just think it's always good for conversations to have, whole food, plant based. Like, my attitude is, vegan philosophy is Jain philosophy, and I eat whole food, plant based for my health, you know, but vegans for my spirit, for my soul,
Right.
and for the plants, as far as that goes. Like, you can be 500 pounds and be vegan, and you can be totally skinny and healthy and not be vegan, as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, it's very complicated,
Well,
it's, the journey of life. It's not some straight line.
no,
It's all
no,
sorts. Then we have to understand that if we think that there's an A to Z, and then every time we fall down that we're
yep,
screwing up, we have to allow that for that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. And I think, yeah, I absolutely, that's exactly as far as that goes. As far as that. And yeah, anything for compassion, I'm all about type things. So, well, it also kills me. I'll hear some people like whole food, plant based. They'll be like, Beyond Burgers aren't vegan because they're not healthy. I'm like, well, vegan's about being compassionate. I was like, what's the new rule? Like, do they make you be so skinny to recycle? Like, being vegan is about not harming things, being better for the earth, as far as that, even if you're not healthy for yourself. So to me, it's like, yeah, I do want every person vegan to be whole food, plant based for the most part, because hey, they're wonderful people. I want you to live healthy. That's the best way to live life. But I'm not. I think I posted on my Facebook. I reposted somebody is, I love you no matter what your health is. If you're eating your Oreo cookies, as far as that, or you're drinking your green smoothie, like, that's not
Oh yeah.
my decision of how I see you as a good person, as far as that goes. Like, as far
Right.
as,
And
yeah,
yeah, I like the way that you said that.
yeah, and it's like, it's great to lose 200 pounds, but you're a good person with that 200 pounds. Losing the weight doesn't make you a better person. It means, my attitude is, because you're a good person, you deserve to have a healthy body. You know, the body doesn't make you good; it's the spirit that makes you good. But because your spirit's good, it's exciting to see good people lose their weight. Like Tessa or Serenity and stuff like that, as far as that goes. So, but yeah, because I think a lot of people think just eating healthy will fix kind of what's on the inside. And I was like, no, you know, the food will only take you so far. It's, you got to look inside. So, and it's kind of like, I think Apple said earlier that she doesn't talk about her weight that often because there's other interesting things to talk about, things about me. Exactly. Apple. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of why I don't like saying, even when I eat whole food, I don't like saying I am whole food plant based. I'm like, this, I don't think anyone's whole food plant based. That's not their whole identity. That's part of you. But even being vegan, I'm like, I'm also humorous, funny, compassionate. Like, that's a part of who I am. That's not the whole part of me or anybody, as far as that goes. So, but yeah, I'm gonna check out. So with the Unity Church, do they connect at all with each other? Like, do they communicate?
Well, I mean, there's like we're having a World Day of Prayer that's coming up in September, all the Unity churches, and but we are connected to other ones. But I mean, we have so much going on in our Unity. We have so much. It's crazy. I can't keep up with all the groups. I can't be at all the things I want to because our Unity, luckily, is just flowing and blooming and everything. And But I'd love to go check out other ones, and I do love the Unitarian Universalist BJ from Climate Healers, Rebecca Allen. She's a Unitarian Universalist, and a friend of mine. There's one around the corner from us here. Reverend Jeff. She doesn't want me to call him Reverend. He was a Reverend there. Now he's retired. Anyway, Jeff, he's a vegan, and he came to Georgia Animal Rights and Protection. We were in the parade at I can't even remember where it was, but anyway, and he brought his chicken, Henrietta, or now maybe that's not her name, but anyway, she would be like, "Hi, don't eat me. Hi, love me, don't eat me." And with Jeff, it was so funny, but I love at that Unitarian church, like you were saying, the LGBTQ community, and we too have an LGBT community, but it's very prominent at these churches. And I love Jeff because I went to vegan Thanksgiving at their church this past year. Oh, yeah, and I'm going to go next year. So it's wonderful.
What kind of food did they have? Did they do the tofurkey? Not or what was?
They had everything. Let me just tell you, they had everything. They had a beautiful, like a um, some little breaded mushroom loaf. I don't know what it was, but it was divine, and all sorts of exotic food. And then the typical tofurkey stuff. And I don't remember what I took, but it was just, I mean, my plate was like this. Anyway, but yeah, it was wonderful to see them. And some of the Reverend Jeff, or Jeff, is part of the Sierra Club. So I've interacted with Sierra Club now because of Jeff and some of the
What's
members
I'm not
there.
familiar. What's a Sierra Club?
Sierra Club is um, a club for the for nature, a nature club, but
Oh, cool.
they're not predominantly vegan. But Jeff always wears his vegan hat, and really always a proponent of vegan. And they did have a presentation probably 5 or 6 months ago from someone who talked about the um, the impact of eating animals on our lands. That's what Sierra Club is about, protecting Mother Earth. So someone did come in and give a good talk on that, which was wonderful to hear. And but now I'm kind of connected with them too. So I mean, all these places, I really encourage everybody watching to check in your community and see where you can make a difference. Like if you join the Sierra Club or an environmental agency and you be the voice that might bring some awareness, because a lot of these places, I volunteer at Chattahoochee Nature Center, and some of them, I mean, a good amount of them are vegetarian and some are vegan. Not many, but it's not what you'd want to see in an organization like that. Ideally, we want to see everyone doing that. It's just a hard thing to accomplish, but when we can be the voices in our community, it's powerful.
See, and that's the type of stuff I want to do. Go to those places and do interviews and that type of stuff. That's where I really I like today we're talking like I want to do online interviews like we're doing this. But my goal, and I always like movies, documentaries, is to actually go maybe spend a day like I want to get in touch like this pig sanctuary at some point and go and like do a nice put up on YouTube video with music and stuff and interview the people and get the message out type thing. And then, and not just animal rights as far as that. There's Garage of Blessings in Oak Harbor, which is all nonprofit. They help homeless people and stuff. As far as that, which to me is another form of compassion as far as that goes, but just highlight things like that. And there's just, today, like caregiving, I have to pick up. I talked to a thing called Seven Sisters, and they're their own thing that do caregiving for elderly people. I'm like, oh, this would be cool to do that. And, groups helping with autism and pretty much that's where like the Dale off is just going to be all compassion type thing. Obviously, veganism is a great compassion, but I'm not only limiting like, oh, you have to be vegan to come on my type thing as far as that. Like, if you're doing compassion in other ways, reaching out to, anybody helping with under the less underprivileged or if we're doing artwork, that brings diversity together as far as that, it's just.
Well, yeah, and I just interviewed Global Blessings here in town, and that would be a good one for you to interview. They help homeless senior citizens. They're having a big gala in December. My friend Ann, who, I mean, she's so nice. I recently met her a few months ago, but we went and did Sound Journey there for them, and we did laughter yoga. So, but yeah, they're helping seniors with their
See, yeah,
rent, and they're not vegan, right? But they're
well, yeah,
very
but
loving, of course.
I mean, like I said, even Gandhi, I remember him quoting. He's like, he knows some vegetarians are more violent than meat eaters. Not saying that's true, but yeah, sometimes that's one thing I think. Sometimes vegans think they get a just by being vegan, you get a get out of jail free card. Is like I don't eat animals, but then I can treat everybody else like crap. Like I'm like that shouldn't be how it is. Like we should be loving to everybody as far as that goes. As far as because I have friends here on the West Coast that they're vegan, but we're like hanging out with because then they like hate kids, hate like that. They have all this. Heck, I saw on my Facebook group the Lee Ryan or Lee Jain, the one like that, which I now have more people on my Lee than my original name Facebook group as far as that. But I have a few people because I'll add people like if we have 20 people in common, as far as that. I never thought I was going to meet vegan Trump supporters. It was just blew my mind. Like how does that happen? It's rare, but I met a few people that are all their stuff is vegan stuff, and then someone posted something. They were saying some kind of like sexist or homophobic things. I'm like, man, how does that like combine? Like how, like you just don't see,
I don't
as far as,
understand that. Vegan is about love. I mean,
yeah,
to me, that's what vegan is. It's love and compassionate, like a ahimsa. That
yeah,
is what vegan is. And so, how can that go along with divisiveness? Like
yeah,
Trump
yeah,
is saying, divisive. But yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's very true, right? And I think that we have I guess different levels of consciousness within like, you know, being vegan. And like, I think I was saying this before too. I think what happens is sometimes you can, like, a lot of people will get into vegan. Maybe they don't even realize what it is, but once they make the connection and they see the world around them, kind of like hardens them to think that like you just see the way people are treating animals or way they're exploited or the way the world's eating. And like, I think it actually like, well, Marakita, you used to do the vegan empowerment coaching for people who become very angry and like, just disturbed at the world because you see it from a whole different perspective. So I think sometimes even by mistake, people, even though they might have been very compassionate to people, I think it tears them away from like, they see how maybe family or friends are treating them now that they're vegan and they're not making the connections. And I think you're right. I think fighting is the worst thing we can do. And like, if you already know someone, like you're talking about global blessings, or you're talking about maybe someone who helps underprivileged people, and they're already that compassionate towards people, associating with someone who's vegan might help them make that connection too. Not only will you be showing people what they're doing, but also just by being an example. And like, because a lot of people don't know anyone that's vegan, and if they do, they've gotten a
Well,
bad like
that's the
vibe,
other thing.
a judgy kind of feeling maybe from,
That's a lot of times I don't like. It's like you have to read. That's a lot of times. Like on Facebook, I'll see people like, "Oh, I go in the restaurant, I teach them everything." I'm like, no. I was like, I like how Dr. Bernard was like, we need to be ambassadors. Like when you go to that restaurant, you ask for vegan food, tip well, be patient. I was always that way. Be vegan. I'm like, hey, I get it. This is an inconvenience. It takes a while to get my food out. If something came out and had cheese on it, I'm not going to eat it, but I'm also not going to flip out about it either. Like I understand it's new like that. I just appreciate them taking the time, because that's the thing. I want people like the places I eat at and stuff like that be like, hey, that short pudgy happy guy that's a vegan coming in, and not like, oh my gosh, he's coming in again. Like I want to have that. Hey, yeah, he's vegan, but I know he's gonna be patient with me. He's gonna be sweet with me, type thing. And to me, then they're like, you know what? Maybe I'll give this vegan thing a chance as far as that.
yeah.
More likely compared to if I'm in there being rude and stuff, and they're like, "Well, he's a freaking jerk. Why I want to be vegan?" They seem angry and unhappy. Like, well, yeah, I get it as far as that. And unfortunately, most vegans are very happy and loving, but the angry ones are the ones that make the loudest noise. So that's how it is in everything, like religion, philosophy. People in general are good, but unfortunately, the most negative people make the most noise, so people get that concept. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of bad representing Christians out there, but I know a lot of great people that are following Jesus Christ. But usually the ones that are doing the right things aren't trying to get attention to themselves. They're just doing you know, they're in there, whether they're vegan, helping at the animal shelter and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and the anger thing, we were talking about that. When I work with the Humane Society, we had to work a lot with our own mental stuff, because dealing with, abused animals, that can really, tearing your soul and stuff. And you have to be careful that you don't become bitter against people. And as far as that, like, I think it's always important to be also compassionate to the people and understand where they're coming from. So, and I honestly think most people are really anti-vegan. The anger comes from, I think, I don't like to say this because I kind of feel like it makes it sound superior, but I think there's shame in it. And when there's shame, that comes out as anger. So it's easier to, attack the person for doing the thing that they kind of like. I do see not eating meat is morally right, but they're not ready to make that step. So it's easier to make that
Laugh
person
out.
outcast like
Yeah.
that. And that's where it's like, that's where Jainism is important to me, is learning. It's easier for me to be compassionate to the animals and to the nice people and stuff. It's learning how to bite my tongue and be compassionate to, you know, the angry people and stuff. Like I said, I knew a person very anti-vegan. I went that whole thing, kind of put him in that, and he went home and took his own life with the gun type thing, as far as that, which, so, mental health's such a huge issue as far as that goes. And, you know, it's kind of like when people are talking about their spouses not wanting to bring, junk food in and stuff like that, because I don't want that junk food in because I'm attached to it. On the flip side, it's like, well, that spouse also might be addicted to the food. So them telling them not to bring the food in, it might be very scary to them, which might come out as being mean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I always try to think of it like that, we're acknowledging that a lot of people don't do that. So, it's easy as far as that goes. So, and I also, when you talk to people about being vegan, sorry, I'm talking too much. You also got to remember, people are connected to food because a lot of times it feels like you're saying their grandma and mother was trying to poison them, and if you grew up, your grandma made you that warm grilled cheese, and that's your thing. And now you're saying cheese awful, you shouldn't eat it. A lot of people take it as like, oh, you're telling my grandma was a bad person. And that's the other thing I think you have to remember. Like, when you're attached to food, like, a lot of people connect that food, that wasn't healthy, that wasn't
Into
vegan.
their culture a lot of
Yeah,
times.
in their culture like that. So it's trying to make it something like you can give up vegan, you can give up the meat and the dairy, and it doesn't mean you're turning your back completely, as far as that. Like me coming from a pig farm. Like, it was very important to me. My parents know I still love you. It's not like, oh my God, we can't be friends, as far as that goes. Like, you still, I'm very thankful for everything they did to me. So, but anyway, there's my rant. So,
No, it makes
so what's
sense.
everyone's plans for the
There's
rest of the day?
there's a lot of multi-dimensional things that go on rather than on the surface. And I find it's always important, especially with like psychology background too, to delve in a little bit deeper. Because initially, like somebody could call, like for example in customer service, what I do, and they call and they're yelling. And I used this example one time. I don't remember, I don't think it was on here, but it was for a work, explaining to people that our initial like reaction that someone has doesn't necessarily mean that that's where the real core emotion is. Like a guy was very upset and yelling at me because um, his credit limit was lowered. But then, like, when I really listened to him, what was happening was he was hurt. He was he didn't understand why he thought he had paid every month on time and had been doing the right thing, that the company all of a sudden kind of like blindsided him and caught him off guard by doing this. And it was just a simple like misunderstanding between like how he was paying, not, was paying over the amount but not by a certain date. It was just such a simple misunderstanding, but all of his anger came from him truly feeling like hurt, or like, I'm a good customer, why is this happening, you know what I mean? And like, really, it could have, if I had taken it a certain way and didn't really listen to what his true problem was, and put my ego in it and just got mad and cut him off, it wasn't like we would ever solve the problem. And I think a lot of times we are so like headstrong, and we know what we know, we've studied like the way that it, like, ethically, morally, we believe in it so much that we have to remember that we have to like understand where the other person's coming from in order to be able to change their mind and make those connections we've made. You know what I mean? Like there are people who will just, they're laser focused, like this animal is put here for me to eat and this animal is meant for me to love. And so like, especially when it comes to vegan, you know?
And we're societies purposely were raised to think that way. I mean, as far as, I mean, even me as a kid, I was attached to animals, but you know, you do this is just part of nature. Like you make justifications in your mind and stuff like that. And when everyone around you is like that too, as far as that goes. And when the people that love you and care the most for you are the ones giving you the meat, it is very contradicting. You know, it would be really easy if every person that tried to give you cheese is doing it out. Hey, like there's nothing worse than someone's you disagree with likes you type thing as far as that goes. Like, yeah.
You know, I like that post not, I know we're not only talking about vegan stuff, but you shared a post the other day that I kind of copied and shared on my page too. Reshared it. It was said, be the vegan you wanted to meet before you were vegan.
Yeah, and
I really enjoyed that.
I reshared that from I'll have to look up her
Disabled
name.
vegan girl.
Yes, and I want to talk to her. She's really cool. Are any of
Yeah,
you
I
friends
haven't
with her?
talked to her before. No, but I'm friends. Like I follow her and stuff, but I haven't reached out to her about an interview. I would love to.
Yeah, once I get my stuff up, I've been looking at her, but she puts up. Do you know her, MQ?
I'm friends with her too, and I actually talked to her about interviewing her at some point, and she was interested. So I just haven't gotten. I don't know what was going on with her then, but yeah, it's a possible. Of course, I think she'll do it. So yeah, she's. I love that. I saw that post too, and I really liked it. And
yeah. Yeah. Well, I always
a glare on the screen. I can't really see if there's any comments. So I don't know if there is. Let me see. I don't know.
The last one was Serenity Bloom said, "Love you, sis." To Apple.
Oh, okay, good. I couldn't see because the way the sun's setting here, like you can probably see it on my head. There's sun shining on me in a weird way, but I probably in maybe 5-10 minutes I may have to jump off. You guys are welcome to stay.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're going on an hour and a half. Like I said.
Yeah, I've got to hit the road too.
Yeah. As far as that goes,
I mean, I don't mind. Normally, I have nothing to do. That sounds terrible, but you know, MQ, what I'm talking about. This is my life. But I did make that commitment to the lady about bringing her the food, and so I was like, normally I don't have anything to do. We can stay on here. I love the discussion. So me and Dawn don't ever settle in to eat dinner until after 7 anyway. So usually I can stay on as long as you have, Lee or whoever. If they got a lot of people coming on, I'm willing to stay normally going forward.
Oh, we have another new person, Carrie, Kerri.
Oh, she say she's lurking. Carrie always comes on and says I'm lurking. I love her.
So for next week, though, here's an idea. I don't know if people are interested in this. We were talking about the peanut butter cups. Hey, I'd be willing to go out and buy each vegan peanut butter cup, and we can have a taste test. And I don't know if you want to do the same, JJ. We can talk about it later. But that might be a fun thing.
I'll taste the Reese cup with you.
Yeah, and I might go out and get the Justine. I think there's 3 different ones and grab it. That might be something.
I'm real strict on my raw next week. I will create a vegan Reese cup. I'm just kidding. I mean, a raw.
Well, if you don't, I'm willing to take the bullet and just be willing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're really twisting my arm here. I don't know.
I don't know. Is that something?
What do you think, MQ? Are you willing to take? Oh, you tasted it already, but you could.
I already tasted it. I'm more interested in seeing y'all's your taste.
That's my question. Are people interested in seeing that?
I am.
We can taste it on where you think.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
that.
While
we're on here, not just taste it and then give our reaction. We'll
that's what I mean. I was gonna buy some. That would be part. Maybe you can have. Let us say, as we do a show, maybe we can have sub things like try a vegan thing like this. As far as that, and that's the thing. People can throw out ideas, and it'd be fun if down the lines are like, hey, check out this vegan movie. I really don't want to do vegan documentaries just because they're wonderful, but there's so many things like that. But maybe just like How to Train Your Dragon that's all about animal abuse. People don't realize. It'd be cool to talk about how you train your dragon. The dragon. Have you all seen that movie before?
No,
I've heard of it though.
It's a cartoon. It's a great movie. Oh, I love it because the dragon reminds me of Mookie, and the reason is the guy when he wrote the movie had got a cat from the shelter. That's a scared thing. So a lot of the interaction in the cartoon of He Is the Dragon is based around how he had to earn the trust of his cat and stuff like that. So, and then How to Train Your Dragon 2 is about positive reinforcement with dogs. Like if you watch part 3 is actually taking on how like how in the old days you had to be the alpha and they do like abuse dogs, and it was showing how and with How to Train Your Dragon it's about connecting with it, and it's a soul, it's like that and like that. But it's very interesting. But I'm saying stuff like that might be fun to chat about, like like just compassion and stuff like that. But entertainment that we overlook type thing, as far as that, like like the Game Changers was awesome, but everyone's talking about the Game Changers. Let's talk about How to Train Your Dragon. That might be a fun thing, or just or
Well,
maybe just huh?
Go ahead. No,
oh yeah, or just anything like that. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to say, Dr. Angela Crawford, a friend of ours, her book, The Vegan Transformation, is coming. It's pre-order on Amazon. It's this beautiful cover.
Oh, that's a good one for book club.
Yeah, let's check that out. And Kathy Hester. Do you know Kathy Hester, MQ?
I know who she is. I don't know her personally, but.
Okay. Me and Apple are part of the Heartbeat group with her. Like Kathy's really cool. Her and Cheryl. And Apple and that. Yeah, Apple in that group was doing still is doing a decluttering. Apple, if you're still on, put the proper words in my mouth. But as far as that, was doing a double. As far as that decluttering stuff like that group for 8 weeks. We also have it's not real popular, but it's called a Healthy Book Club. But we're just doing like vegan book and stuff. Next month we're doing Walking with Petey. Are you familiar with that?
Only because you told me what it was. Am I familiar?
Yeah, it's a guy that the doctor actually told him to go plant-based and to get a dog to get him walking and stuff. And it's his story like that. He's part of the Facebook group. He actually might know. It's funny. I wouldn't be surprised if you're friends with him, because I was doing the book and I had no clue. And then some dude like, oh, I adopted a new thing. I went to graduate. I'm like, wait, you're the guy that wrote this book, Walking with Petey type thing. But he's one of those examples from whole food, plant-based, lost weight, stuff like that, but now became very compassionate, connecting with animals and stuff. So I'm really excited to hear that one, because I have been enjoying the power food diets and the Esselstyn and stuff like that. But I think it's fun to hear about people's transformations and how going whole food, plant-based just didn't affect their lives, it affected their whole life altogether, not just physically. So, but anyways, we'll let that go. But next week I will plan on buying those. But yeah, that's my plan is when we're on, I'll actually show the package, eat it, and we'll try it on and discuss it.
So. That sounds good. I have to get Angela's book too. I saw you put that in our chat here.
And that's private chat. I don't know how to put it in the other chat.
I'll put it in the chat. Just because that's what y'all pay me for.
Well, y'all, this has been fun.
These cups, if I like these, I'll be like, it ruined her whole food plant-based raw journey by the tasting of the Reese's.
Well, you don't have to. Like I said, I'm more willing to type thing. Like my right now is when I'm back on it. Like right now, this week is the Jane thing is.
If I was like raw for like all 6 years that I have been doing this, then I might rethink it. But I'm not on any kind of what do you call it, streak of that.
Oh yeah, we saw your Gardein chicken, which is really I enjoy. So.
All right, y'all. Well, I gotta hit the road, Jax.
Okay.
All right, guys. Me too. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. This is gonna just get better and better, and we'll have a better format. We're just figuring it out. Thanks for coming along with us. Thank you, Apple. Thank you, Serenity. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Tessa. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. I'm forgetting people. Help me.
Tessa, Phillip. Serenity, Carl. Phil, did you get Philip in there?
Philip, that's it. Phillip. I just got to his comment because he had said something earlier. Thank you, and thank you, Lee. Thank you, MQ, for being on the first show. I'm excited.
And let's throw out anyone that ends up watching it. Put in comments anything you want us to talk about in future shows, like any ideas. Like we're just making it up as we go. So if there's anything
leave a
that
comment.
You want us to discuss or do or whatever, throw it in as far as that. Let us know. Like make it a community. So, all right. Well,
thanks for asking me to be
see y'all later. See y'all.
We appreciate it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.